This is the Stars and Stripes in 7, your online source for editorially independent news and information for the U.S. military community. I'm Lamont Easter. The Pentagon's test office reports that Microsoft's new multifunction goggle system for the U.S. Army shows promise, but the $22 billion program is not yet ready for combat deployment. Despite progress since the contract was awarded in 2018, the system has not yet demonstrated the capability to serve as a fighting goggle. The program by the Redmond, Washington-based company aims to develop a heads-up display for U.S. ground forces, similar to those for fighter pilots. The system, a customized version of Microsoft's HoloLens goggles, will let commanders project information onto a visor in front of a soldier's face, and would include other features such as night vision. Improved versions of goggle prototypes fielded for initial soldier evaluations demonstrated growth capabilities and improved comfort and field of view, according to the assessment. The Army announced a delay in fielding the program to allow more time to prepare for the intense combat testing needed for full-rate production. State Guard units are seeing higher reenlistment rates, despite the exhausting demands the Guard has faced in the past 2 years dealing with COVID-19, natural disasters, and other military deployments. For some, the Guard provides extra income during uncertain economic times. For others, it's a job that could be a 20-year career and give tuition assistance and employment skills that will always be able to be used. For many, it's a fulfilling part-time avocation that lets them give back to their communities. The Guard has been involved in all types of COVID operations, from testing to vaccinations to working in hospitals to doing the distribution. They have also been out fighting fires and responding to floods, winter weather, and tornadoes. Guard leaders said the economy has probably played a role in spurring some service members to re-enlist, particularly during the pandemic. But they said, for the most part, they believe the part-time citizen soldiers and airmen are driven by the desire to give back. No matter what military service they join, hopeful recruits have shared one defining experience: the unusual and sometimes embarrassing group medical exams at military entrance processing stations. However, according to the U.S. Military Entrance Processing Command, there will be a new approach to screenings which will consist of fewer exercises and will eliminate group exams. The changes have been driven by more focused and efficient examination techniques. Recruits will now undergo a neuromuscular skeletal exam of just 10 exercises individually. This will allow recruits to proceed to follow-on stations without having to wait around for the group. One exam that will remain in a private, abbreviated form is the infamous duck walk. Officials said the maneuver still fits the proverbial bill and helps evaluate whether recruits have flat feet or other skeletal issues. The new exam protocol will begin at select stations with a broad rollout following. According to a recent U.S. Army statement, military families in Germany will soon pay more for value-added tax forms and certain on-base services. Starting April 1st, VAT form prices for purchases up to 2,500 euros will rise $2 to $7 per form. Customers may have only 10 of these forms outstanding at a time. Forms for purchases above 2,500 euros will cost $90, up from $65. The forms allow eligible Defense Department personnel and their family members to purchase goods and services without paying the 19% tax. The Army's Installation Management Command Europe stated that the price increase is the first in more than 5 years. Value-added tax form costs at U.S. installations in Italy, Belgium, and the Netherlands will remain the same for now, as they are administered differently. The Navy and Marine Corps have until April to launch a study into how facial hair affects gas mask functionality, one of several efforts the Navy Secretary Carlos Del Toro has directed in a memo to help improve diversity in the force. As part of the study, the services must also identify potential alternatives for service members with beards. The memo was the basis for a court filing asking a judge to halt a lawsuit over the Navy's forced shaving policies that four sailors say violate their religious freedoms. In the suit filed last April in federal court in Washington, D.C., the four petty officers say the Navy has been insisting that sailors on sea duty not be granted religious shaving waivers because a beard supposedly reduces safe and effective wear and operation of protective equipment, such as gas masks and respirators. According to Del Toro, the results of the gas mask study should be used to guide changes. On a final note, 2 Army truck drivers are headed to the Winter Olympics in Beijing to compete in the Nordic Combined, a sport that mixes cross-country skiing and ski jumping. It will be the second games for Nordic Combined skiers, 23-year-old specialist Ben Lomas of Park City, Utah, and 25-year-old specialist Jasper Good of Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Both joined the Army in 2019 after competing in the Pyeongchang Games in South Korea the previous year. They are members of the U.S. Army World Class Athlete Program, headquartered at Fort Carson, Colorado. Nordic Combined has been an Olympic sport since the Winter Games in 1924. Athletes began by competing in the ski jump portion, then later start the ski race based on points awarded in the jump. Nordic Combined for the 2022 Winter Olympics will be held on February 9th, 15th, and 17th. And that is all for this edition of Stars and Stripes in 7. I'm Lamont Easter, helping you stay connected.